on YouTube. I don't have the fancy software to broadcast to both, and they started charging for it anyways, so not something.
I've been a real bad boy.
welcome to an exciting series we got here on Extreme Sim TV. We've got the Lightspeed Racing League in the Xfinity series here at Daytona tonight. Brand new season, first race. Going to be a 27 race season. With me tonight up in the booth is going to be Rachel Thornhill. Rachel, I'm going to hand it over to you. You can tell the folks out there a little bit about the league. Rachel, you copy? Give her a minute, I guess, and see. Not sure exactly what happened with Rachel, but we'll get back to her. The guys are finishing up some practice. We're going to be starting qualifying here in just a couple of minutes. Looking over at the stream, looks like there's some stuttering going on. I'm going to get those issues fixed.
I am so sorry about that.
Oh, it's not a problem.
My thing's actually crashed. So what I was mentioning was this is LSRL's second season, and the first season, the actual points champion was actually Brandon Thornhill. And so obviously he's going to be running in tonight as well. And we also have some new people that are running.
Sorry about that. Had a momentary lapse there. Could be coming back up. We're getting ready to get into qualifying. See who we can grab out on the speedway. Waiting for them to line up. We see the number 15 of Peyton Johnson coming out on the speedway right now. Coming up off of pit road, getting onto the backstretch. He's going to be getting in his first, getting ready to run his first lap. See who else is out on the speedway. Brandon Leary coming off the pit road. John Flemian. Andrew Fezenden. Daniel Smallwood is already out on the track. Start seeing some qualifying times pop up here on the left side of your screen.
Now, Brandon Leary and John Flamian, those are two new members. They did not run last season.
Looks like a couple of these guys are about to put down the first lap here. I see Daniel Smallwood going in 3. Travis Browder's on the back stretch. See what Daniel Smallwood puts down for a time here. Smallwood comes across the line with a 51.66, but Christian Converse beats him by about 2/100ths. There we go. Peyton Johnson now at the top of the board as he finishes his lap, and then we got, looks like, it says Tinkerbell on here. I know we're not, somebody said not to call him that, but it says Tinkerbell, and there's not much I can do about it. So Hesitant is out there running in the 4th position currently. So we'll just call him Tinkerbell, I guess.
And then also, Brayton Leary has moved to 7th place now.
Braden Leary coming down the back stretch, probably trying to get his final lap in. Let's talk tonight a little bit about tires, fuel, strategy, and whatnot. Rachel, you've been around for these kind of races enough to know. What do you think we're going to see tonight? You think we're going to see guys kind of laying back, or do you think it's going to be one big group of cars tonight?
There's some of these guys, they tend to stay, towards the back of the pack. They try not to get too far up there. But with this season's a little different. They're running the 70% fuel, but they're doing a 3 tire set limit, and they're actually throwing in 1 fast repair. Last season, they didn't have any fast repairs. So I think that's going to really change up the strategy for a lot of these guys, the ones that ran last season, because they actually have that fast repair to rely on for this race.
So they have a fast repair and 3 sets of tires, is that what you said?
Yes.
Wow,
3 tire set limit,
wow.
And they have 1 fast repair.
That's
and last season, none. Yeah, last season they had no fast repairs at all in the season. So this will definitely switch up strategies for a lot of these guys that ran last season.
Interestingly enough, we've got about 20 seconds left in qualifying. Only 9 drivers have elected to qualify. Probably, I didn't count total. I think we have about a 20 or 21 car field. Out of that 20 or 21 cars, only 9 choosing to put down a lap time. That's something that's pretty common too. That it's not very important when it comes to qualifying here at a super speedway. Being up front is not necessarily something that you have to do.
Right. And also, with it being Daytona, you just never know if there's going to be a big one and where it's going to end up happening. So sometimes not always being in the front is a good thing.
All right. Yep. If I can turn the overall down, Kimberly, if you can let us know. They're asking Rachel, turn your mic down just a little bit if you can, please. All right, here we go. Looks like they're starting to line up. Let's get our qualifying grid. Starting in row number 1, taking the pole with a time of 55.24 is going to be Daniel Smallwood. Starting on his outside is going to be Christian Converse. Starting in 3rd is going to be Braden Leary. 4th, Travis Browder. 5th, Peyton Johnson. 6th, Tinkerbell. 7th, Devin Coleman. 8th, Craig Sassamont. 9th, John Flamian. 10th, Bradley Hagel. 11th, Josh Thaxton. 12th, Cameron Hearn. 13th, Brandon Thornhill. 14th, Brandon Murray. 15th is going to be Dylan Gonis. 16th is going to be 17th is going to be Joseph Marotta. 18th, Craig Goodenough. 19th, Aaron Hearn. 20th, John Wollum. 21st, Corey Tuggle. 22nd, Ryan Howell. That's going to do it for the grid tonight, and should be interesting here to see if there's any strategies going to be played out or not.
Great. I hope my mic is not as loud anymore. Um,
Copy that. Looking over, I just saw Kimberly say mine needed to go up a little bit, so I turned mine up a little bit. If it's a little bit faint in the beginning, I'll probably get louder and louder as we go. But thank you for that information. Cars have started getting out onto the track now. We are going to be seeing green flag here in less than a lap. About to start the season for the LSRL Xfinity series. What do you think, Rachel?
I'm definitely looking forward to seeing, what a lot of these newer people are going to do in this league. I mean, I'm definitely not surprised that Daniel Smallwood is towards the front. He pretty much was always within, the top 5 in most of the races in LSRL between the Cup and the Xfinity series. So that's a name that you will pretty much always see towards the front.
Well, there you have it. We got a little insight there from Rachel on what to expect here in the, well, what she expects anyway. The rest of us can see if she's correct. I would assume she's going to be correct. I know Daniel, he's pretty quick. So getting ready to take the green flag here for the start of the season. LSRL probably can't wait to get the first laps in here. Green flag is out. They're on the loud pedal. Here we go racing. Daniel Smallwood off to a small if anything happens with no one is able to drop down. It's going to be Daniel Smallwood leading into turn 1.
Right, and you have Christian out on the outside of Smallwood. That he's trying to get a push from Travis Brown right there, but they're side by side right now.
Still watching this battle up front as looks like Daniel Smallwood's going to lead the first lap of the season, possibly, maybe. They got a little bit of a run coming on the outside. Not going to be able to get there for the first lap. Daniel Smallwood leading the first lap in the new season here at LSRL. Still a good battle going on. It's going to be tight racing all night. I see a lot of cars, not a lot, but a few cars back off. Let's jump back there.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a few cars that are going to kind of stay towards the back, not really try to push too much towards the front. Because I mean, with these cars, they definitely have to watch out to make sure that they don't overheat by pushing. So some of these guys are going to kind of push and then come out a little bit just to get some air, and then go right back underneath.
Looked like Dylan Donis is kind of the lead of that group back there, as we got a change for the lead here. The 83 getting a great push from the 19. The 83 of Braden Leary goes to the front, drops down in front of Daniel Smallwood. Got a great push outside from the number 19 of Christian Converse. Got a little bit of smoke there. I think that may have been internet related coming out of that corner. They head down in the back stretch, doing 195, 197 miles an hour. We can probably jump on board here in a minute and see if we can get some on-car or in-car data up on the screen. But
it looks like Smallwood jumped out from behind the 83, and now he's on the outside with getting a push from the number 19 of Christian Converse.
So that's something that you're going to want to keep in the bank for later. That number 19 seems to be a good pusher on the outside. You're right, Daniel Smallwood trying to make a move on the outside. He's getting a good push from the number 19. As he drops down to take back the lead once again. as we watch them go through a slight change of how things are kind of going to play out here. Drop back, looking at the second group of cars. It looks like being led right now by
right now we are 3 wide with Smallwood, the 83, and the 19.
See if they can keep it out of the wall here. They've got a lot of pushing going on. The 19, unfortunately, getting shuffled out from the front row. He's going to have to fall back in line somewhere about 4 rows back. Probably not what he wanted to see. I was kind of watching or looking back to see what that second group of cars was doing. They're laying back probably about a second or so. If you look up the ticker going across the screen there, they're about 1.4 seconds back, and they seem to be happy back there. I don't think that they want to get too much further back, as we just completed lap 6 of 75. One thing that's interesting, Rachel, is this is one of those tracks where pretty much anybody with some somewhat common sense and decent driving ability has a very good chance of winning at one of these tracks.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially because you just never know what's going to happen throughout the night. There can be some wrecks going on and stuff. So pretty much it's going to be whoever can keep their car out of the big one and just keep their car clean and have a good pit strategy. It's pretty much anybody's game.
You get to see a good shot here of the cars, kind of how they move around in the draft. We're watching this rear camera, looking at the 15 car from the back of the 88 car. Jump up to the back. That is the rear camera. I don't know why it's showing that, but we pretty much got a bumper inside of that car. So another change again. Got not familiar with the paint schemes yet, so looks like I think it's the 18 Travis Browder on the high side trying to make his way to the front now. Travis Browder, that's a name I recognize, and he's another one of those guys that can get it done.
Yes, yeah, he ran with LSRL last season, and he definitely did really well last season as well. So I wasn't surprised that he came back, for this season, and he's definitely somebody you do have to look out for, because he's a really good driver, and he tends to be towards the front, especially on these super speedways. He's really good at those.
A lot of jockeying for position. Travis Browder pushing on the back of the 88, gets a little bit squirrely. Looked like they wanted to work together and stay together, so Travis got clear. They luckily did. Almost got sideways. Got down in front of Braden Leary. I'll get it eventually, folks. Sorry. We got a good charge on the outside lane now coming up. It looks to be Christian Converse in that outside lane, being pushed on by the number 30, Craig Sassaman. We're going to jump back a little bit here and take a look at this second group. Cameron Hearn just kind of hanging in the middle, and you got Brandon Murray and Brandon Thornhill just about a second back, 1.3 seconds.
Yeah, it looks like the 30 had a little bit of contact with the 19. So I don't know if he got a ton of damage, if he got a lot of damage whenever he made that slight contact with him. So that could also be why he's not really pushing on the back of him either.
As we watch him coming to complete lap number 11.75. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh. 18 gets loose, goes down, comes up. I would expect the caution to be coming out.
Right, the caution just came out.
There, it finally did come out. Wow, that was not what I had expected. We'll back this up real quick. We'll watch coming from the backstretch. We're looking at Travis Browder. We'll go to a chopper view on this and see what happens from overhead. Travis he just gets loose and tries to come back up the track, gets hit by the 15. The 15 didn't lift, didn't give him any room. Not that he needed to, not that he was supposed to, but unfortunately collected quite a few cars in that, got some damage out of that. Travis Browder back rolling, probably going to be heading in and getting a new car after that. You said that they did have a fast repair, unfortunately.
Yes, they do have one.
So unfortunately, that's actually going to take away the ability for Travis Browder to really be aggressive, in my opinion. What do you think? You think the rest of these guys got to take fast repairs, or you think they just go in to get their damage fixed? Do sit there and try to get some damage fixed and see how the car runs, or is it too much of a risk with the size of the field and the chance of falling back and then not being able to catch back up?
I think quite a few of them are going to go ahead and take the fast repair, because, like you mentioned, the size of the field, there's 22 cars, I believe. I don't know if it would be worth trying to just get the repairs done, because then, yes, that's a lot of ground that they have to make up. So I think some of them will just go ahead with fast repairs.
Wow, the leader stayed out. First car that pitted is the car of the number 88 of Daniel Smallwood. First car to go ahead and take it down pit road. As we'll sit here in this static camera position, this gives us a good idea of how they're going to come off pit road. Looks like Daniel Smallwood may have just taken either fuel or 2 tires in fuel. Not sure. I wasn't paying that much attention. Quick stop for him regardless. I'm going to go ahead and take this time to bring up a driver and speak with him. Why don't you go ahead and take a pick there? I would actually like to talk to somebody in the second group, so either like Brandon Thornhill, Brandon Murray, Corey Tuggle, Dylan Gomez. Those guys were all running towards the back. I'd like to talk to one of those drivers if you don't mind.
Okay. Let's go with Brandon Murray on that one.
All right. Are you able to grab him? Because unfortunately,
yes,
I'm
sure.
on a different computer and I don't have server admin tonight. We'll get that all straightened out, folks. So be seamless next week. All right, Brandon Murray. This is Ron Klein and Rachel Thornhill up in the booth. You got a copy?
I do.
All right. Well, I'm going to let Rachel take this. I think she kind of knows where I was going with it. You guys are kind of running in the back. Rachel, go ahead, take over.
Sure. Yeah, so notice that you and a couple of other people were running towards the back. So, what kind of strategy are you going for? Are you just going to kind of hang out in the back just to kind of stay away from possibly getting into that big one, or what's going through your mind right now?
Yeah, I definitely want to hang out in the back and try to avoid the big wrecks, which helped me on this one. And just kind of biding my time. And we got a long race, 75 laps here tonight. Is pretty good distance to go. So that's kind of our game plan. Just right around in the back right now. This game in Chevrolet is pretty fast. So I think at the end of the thing, you should be looking for us to be up front.
Were you far back enough to where you weren't affected in that last wreck with Browder?
Yeah, no, we didn't get any damage, didn't get run over by anybody. Everybody behind us did a great job checking up and not running us over. Had it not been for that, we probably would have had some damage, but no, we didn't have anything from the wreck itself, thankfully.
All right. Ronald, did you have anything?
Nope. Very good job. Good luck to you, Brandon, and glad to hear that none of you guys got into that. It was a very unfortunate incident. We saw the replay. It just looked like the 18 actually just got loose. We'll let you go because it looks like you're going back green flag racing.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for doing this for us. We really appreciate it.
Not a problem.
All right, and that was Brandon Thornhill. We're getting ready to take the green. Go ahead, Rachel. You've got it.
All right. Got the number 19 of Christian Converse. Got a slight run on the number 30, Craig Simpson, but now the number 30 is getting pushed by Daniel Smallwood, so now they're still running side by side.
So an interesting side-by-side battle here as we exit turn 2. Being pushed on by Daniel Smallwood as Rachel said something, and we got a car down below the yellow line. No incident. I'm not going to change cameras and look at that because we're going to stay focused on what's going on here. Daniel Smallwood pushing extremely hard, just barely got that 30 clear of the 19. 19 did not look like he wanted to give it up, Rachel.
No, not at all. And I mean, he is staying on the back of the number 30. So it's only a matter of time that he's gonna either move on to the outside or to get around him.
So it's leapfrog. It's leapfrog, right? So the 19 pushes on the 30 real hard. He waits for the 88 to get a run. Like right now, if he wanted to do it, he should jump to the high side to get a push and go around the front.
Right. But unfortunately, the 88 has fell back just a little bit. So he wouldn't have been able to get that technical.
Sometimes you don't want drivers doing that, jumping up when there's a really fast closing rate. Like if there's a really good run coming, you don't actually want to go up there unless it's right towards the end of the race for a block or something like that, because what happens is the run is so big they get into the back of you and it can turn you sideways. So probably a good thing that they're not doing crazy stuff right now in the beginning of the race. As we're gonna kind of go through the field, the front they're gonna jumble around a little bit. So let's go ahead and walk through the field, starting with the front of the field. Rachel, walk us through where everybody is, and I'll just move the cameras to each car down the line.
Yeah, sure. So right now, number 30, Craig Sampson is in first, and you have Christian Converse and number 19 running behind him in second. Daniel Smallwood, the number 88, is in third. Then we've got Andrew Feston that ended up, it actually passed by Leonard Frost, the number 81. So, and then he's in fourth, and then Andrew Feston is in fifth in the 00. And you've got Billy Gonis in the number 27 and sixth. Bradley Hagel in seventh in the 107. Braden Leary in the number 83 and 8th. John Flamion in the number 38 and 9th. Aaron Howard in the number 91. That rounds up your top 10.
Top 10 cars. We'll go ahead and keep going. We got Aaron Hearn in the 11th. In 12th. Peyton Johnson in 13th. Brendan Murray sitting back in 14th with his buddy Brandon Thornhill. Brian Howells in 16th. Travis Bowder all the way back in 17th after that spin that he had earlier. Joseph Murata sitting back there in 18th. Corey Tuggle 19th. And Josh Thaxton 20th. And rounding out the field, Devin Coleman in 64. As we head back to the front, I'm sure things have changed a little. Nope, looks about the same actually. Craig Sassman still leads. Daniel Smallwood still on that outside, likes it on the outside to get a little bit of scoring lead there. Wow, that's the drivers seem to be pushing hard right now, driving extremely hard, one or the other. That almost ended in a disaster there, Rachel.
Right, yeah. The number 88 of Daniel Smallwood got pretty loose up there, but he was able to save it. So, which is great, because I know they definitely don't want to have any type of cautions right now. I mean, we're only 20 laps in. Still got a ways to go.
Yep, still got 55 laps to go. I'm not sure what the fuel load is, but generically speaking, about a 75% fuel load is almost good for 50 laps. So we'll probably have one pit stop to go if we stay green. If not, depending on when the caution falls, that could change the whole outlook of the race.
Right, and this is 70% fuel,
so probably about 25, somewhere between 25 and 30. As we're going to go on top of the, let's see, let's jump on, we're going to jump on Andrew Fesen's car. We're going to jump up on top of his car. After we get done with this cool gyro shot, we'll ride down the front stretch, go through turns 1 and 2, and then we'll jump up on top of his car. See the cars waving back and forth. Pretty cool how the gyro cam stays at that angle. You hear a little bit of tire squeal through the corners as we jump up on the roof, and you can see him get to the back bumper of the number 88, giving him a good hard shove. He's a little bit off-centered here. Got to be careful not to push too hard on that right side. He pushes on the right side, he might turn him right into a wall. Gets off of him just a little bit. Number 30, Craig Sassman, managing to stay in the lead as we jump over on into the cockpit. Gyro cam actually of the number 19 car. We'll go ahead and we'll jump on top of his car as well.
Oh, the number 88 of Smallwood, he came down just a little bit. He got extremely close to the number 30.
There's a look on top of the 88. Go up top for a blimp view. Give your ears a break from all that engine noise. Starting to spread out just a little bit more here. Things are kind of getting a little disorganized, or maybe people are kind of settling down a little bit now. There is going to be a run gathering up on the outside as Daniel Smallwood gets to the back of the number 19. That number 88 car is second in line, actually second on the track right now as you see it. Pulling the 00 of Andrew Fessenden along. Wow. Daniel Smallwood decides to stay to the high side, pushes the 19 to the front, and then stays to the outside, getting a great shove from Andrew Fessenden. He's clear. He's going to drop down in front of the 19.
Yeah, it looks like Smallwood pretty much wants to just stay out in front. Doesn't want to, get caught up in anything, and wants to just stay, in the very front, so he's not caught up in any type of wreck or anything. So that's normally what he does. He tries to get to the front as fast as he possibly can.
I do agree with that. I know Daniel pretty well, and he usually tries to stay up front. A lot of racing still left as we just eclipse the 1/3 mark of the race. Gotta say, thanks to the sponsor for tonight in the Xfinity series here, Wilder Graphics. Big shout out to them. Thank you for coming on as a sponsor for LSRL. Appreciate what you do. Well, we got 25 in the book. Andrew Fessenden's making a run to the outside. Rachel, what do you think?
Andrew actually got good push from Dilly in the number 27, and so he dropped down in front of. Oh,
That
major
is
wreck.
definitely going to be a caution.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Dilly G got into the side of I believe that was the number 30, and then he came up into the wall, and
So
there
we're
was
gonna,
really nowhere for him to go.
yeah, we're gonna focus on the 83. Gonna go into the chopper view. We're gonna look at the overhead. Not positive. I don't like that view actually. Sorry. We're gonna change that. I'm gonna go to a different view here. Let me find it. There. We're gonna watch this here. I think the 83 may have gotten to the back of the 27 and upset the car. 83 got to the back of 27 and turning the 27. Very unfortunate incident. I kind of spoken about that earlier with, pushing on one side versus the other. I'm sure you're aware of this, and you can probably explain that to the people out there about pushing on the wrong side of the car.
Oh, right, with pushing on the wrong side of the car. Yeah, unfortunately, with these cars, I mean, they can get extremely loose by you doing that, and then unfortunately, it turns the car, and then when you have that many cars so close to each other, they really have nowhere to go.
And that right there, folks, is exactly what happened. So, very unfortunate incident there, um, involving quite a few drivers. I think we'll go to the blimp cam on this one. Probably going to see a whole lot of drivers coming down pit road. Probably everybody. I'd be surprised if anybody stayed out. We move through the field here and check. There are a couple of cars. Nope, they're coming. Everybody looks like they're coming. Wow, Daniel Smallwood in the 88 is tore up.
And I don't know if he has a fast repair. Hopefully he does, and he won't have to worry about anything. But if he doesn't, then he's gonna definitely have to sit on pit road for quite some time.
Yeah, I would say if he doesn't have a fast repair, we'll jump on back. Yep, fast repair. You see everything pop out. Daniel Smallwood's going to be back out there as soon as he gets tires. So, fortunately for him, he did not use the fast repair earlier. Unfortunately, we're only on lap 28 of 75. I think it's time for a quick break. We'll be back here in just a few moments. All right, Rachel, we're back from that quick break there. Looks like we're lining up side by side, getting ready to go back to green. I do like the fact that iRacing has made these cautions shorter.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm sure the drivers prefer this as well. I'm sure they want to get back to racing as fast as possible.
Well, Andrew Fezinen is being shown as our leader. Should be interesting here. We're going to get ready. Pace car ducked off. About to go green. Here we go. Loud pedal down. Andrew Fezinen gets a good takeoff. Not that it really matters here at a super speedway. Sometimes it can actually be a disadvantage. Especially with the 30 on the outside getting away so much. The 7 should get to the back of the 00 and actually push him clear of the 30. The 7 should clear the 30 almost as well. Not going to pan out that way. I kind of thought that's what would have happened, but definitely Fezinen could have moved to the other lane had he wanted to. Unfortunately, not going to be able to, as they do a little bit of snaking down the backstretch here.
It looks like the number 30 is kind of just not being pushed by that would be the number 107 of Bradley Hagel. He's kind of staying off the back of him right now.
I tell you what, folks, it's 7 looks like he's got a little bit of nose damage there, I saw, and let's talk about the number 68 moving on up into the 6th position, dropping down below the yellow. Looks like he's just voluntarily pulled down there and gonna fall back, much like he did earlier in the race. He was up there in 6th place, falls back to the back towards the back of the pack. We got almost a 3-wide situation. Somebody gets in the wall, one sideways. Daniel Smallwood, the 7 into the wall.
And the number 38.
Caution's going to come out. We're just going to go ahead and back it right on up here. Don't have my replay button set up yet. Let's take a look at the, I believe it was the number 7 car that, I think it was the number 7. Let's look at the 19. I know the 19 was right in the middle of it. We'll go to Chopper and take a look at it from the overhead. We'll go ahead and press the play button. Oh, and it's already starting. Let me back it up just a little bit further. Okay, so going into 3 and 4. Oh, some minor contact there between the 7, the 19. 19 gets in the 88. 7 goes in the wall, collects the 27, the 19, the 7, the 23 or the 83 down on the inside wall. Collect about 4 or 5 cars. A very unfortunate incident there.
Yes, also the number 27 of Dylan Gones was also involved in that one. I saw he kind of spun out towards pit road. So unfortunately there was quite a few cars involved in that one. And unfortunately for Dylan, that was, I believe, the second incident that he was involved in. So I'm not sure if he's going to have fast repair available.
I'm
for
looking
this
at
go around.
Corey Tuggle doesn't have a front end, nor does the 19. We'll see if the... I know the 88 just used his repair, and he got a little bit of damage. I think he can get it repaired and still be somewhat capable of running out there. Corey Tuggle still has not taken a fast repair. I don't believe that Corey Tuggle has a fast repair. Go through the field here. We'll try to look and see. Daniel Smallwood still on pit road. That means he's getting that car fixed. The number 19, we're gonna have to do a different view to see if his front bumper is back on or not. So the 19 must have had a fast repair because his nose is back on. So unfortunately, Dylan Gones sitting on pit road. Looks like he's trying to get his car repaired. The 83 trying to get his car repaired. The 162 getting ready to come out. See who is that next to him? Leonard. Nope, not Leonard. Craig. Craig Goodenough. With quite a bit of damage to his car. Looks like he must have sat there and got some of the damage repaired. Well, let's see. Let's go ahead and drag up. Let's drag up good old Tinkerbell. See if you can grab him.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello.
Mr.
What's going on?
Tinkerbell, how's it going? This is Ron Klein and Rachel Thornhill up in the booth.
What's going on, guys?
Well, you guys are lining up double file here. Looks like you're going to be going green here. You've been up front here recently. Can you keep it up front?
I'm gonna try. I kind of lost my drafting partner for now.
Yeah, that last caution right there unfortunately took out quite a few cars, and it looked like most of them did not have another fast repair. So definitely some hurting for certain on pit road right now. But tell us about how your night's been.
So far, it's been pretty smooth. I mean, I did get run into on that first caution. I had to use my fast repair, so we're kind of trying to take care of the car right now.
Well, sometimes being out front is the best way to do that, and sometimes you know, you can get turned like we saw earlier from another car. It just you catch on the wrong side of the bumper, and that can be it.
Yep.
You guys
Yep.
heading into turns 3 and 4 right now, correct?
Yes.
All right, we're gonna let you go. Rachel, put you back down. Thanks for coming up and talk to us. Hope to see you at the end of the race.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
All right, Rachel. Gonna let you have this one.
Okay. All right. Pace car down. Getting ready to go back green. Got the number 30 on the inside, Craig Sampson, and Andrew Fesden on his outside. Sampson gets...
Oh, somebody just blew up. I'm not sure.
Oh.
We just had a car blow up.
Oh.
Gonna be another caution. I could hear it in the background. I could hear the
Okay.
I could hear the engine blow. So unfortunately, give me just a second here. We're gonna back it up here, and we'll see if we can capture who blew the engine. I don't. Somebody either downshifted, or I don't understand. Somebody must have downshifted or something. Oh, it was Brandon Thornhill. Brandon Thornhill actually blew the engine. I'm not sure exactly what he did. We'll back it back up one more time. Change the camera angle. And you'll get to see.
Oh. And then the number 15 was involved in that as well.
On that outside lane, you can see the smoke. He blows it, gets into the 15. The 5 gets into the back of the 68. And unfortunately, Brandon Murray just got in the back of Thornhill at the very end of that as well. So even more cars torn up. Looks like Mr. Thornhill's getting some assistance to get back to pit road. Wow, what a sad turn of events there for the number 68.
Yeah, I mean, I know that's definitely not how you want to end up on pit road at all, is from a blown motor.
No, but hopefully for the 68, we're going to go ahead and put our camera on the 68 and see what happens with him. He's getting pushed to pit road. He might get there in time not to get lapped. Wow. While we watch this, or while you guys watch this, actually, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to go to caution cam. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Great job tonight, you guys.
All right, and we're coming back from the caution here. The 68 must have had a fast repair because he is rolling out now. Rachel, you do share something in common with the number 68, of course. Go ahead and tell the fans that are watching out there what that might be.
Yes, yeah, the number 68, Brandon Thornhill, is my husband. So that, of course, that's why my last name is Thornhill as well.
Well, just making sure that maybe, they knew that you were the wife and maybe not the sister or a cousin or something.
Right.
Because that would be weird. I know y'all live, anyways. The 68 back out on track. That's got to be good for you because obviously, as a race car driver, I know how that feels, and as a race car driver's wife, whether it's in the sim or whether it's in real life, when you have a bad night, it's just not really a whole lot of fun. I'm sure y'all don't enjoy it much at all either. Right.
Yeah, no, I mean, it definitely affects both of us and not just one of us. Whether it's him just racing in the sim or even in real life, because obviously he does race in real life. He races late models. So no, I definitely know what that feels like. But I'm glad that he had a fast repair still, so that he can get back out there and still turn some laps.
So right now we've got 15 cars still in the lead lap. The number 5 of Joseph Marotta is actually the last car on the lead lap. Brandon Thornhill now being shown 1 lap down. We'll bring up the running order here on the left side of the screen. Oh, sorry, that one didn't work. Just get the ticker going again. And you guys can see it that way. We'll do a full rundown. They're getting ready to probably go green, but here we go. In first, you got Andrew Fessenden. In second, Craig Sassmon. Third, Brian Howell. Fourth, Devin Coleman. Fifth, Craig Goodenough. And that's your top 5. Pace car's getting ready to duck on off here. Andrew Fezzin's getting her loaded up, getting her ready to go. Everybody looks like they're tightening up. Gets on the loud pedal, and here we go. And again, in a super speedway, getting a great start here really doesn't matter. So taking off equally or getting ahead of getting ahead of somebody by too much is really actually a bad thing. So there's a lot of damaged cars here. It's going to be interesting to see what people's strategies are now. Like, let's talk about Brandon Thornhill for a minute. He is 1 lap down. Now, he has a choice of just kind of riding this out and seeing if there's another caution, trying to be the first car a lap down. You have to get in front of the 107 in order to do that. 107 is currently running in the second pack, which I've got the camera on right now, Rachel. Brandon is technically running in what we would call, or what I would call, the third pack. It kind of would shock me that, or if Brandon did not want to try to get in front of that lap car, because if there's a caution, he gets the waiver on.
Right. I really don't know what his strategy is going to be. I don't know if he's still trying to lay back. I know he tends to speedway races because there's always the chance for these accidents to happen. So I'm gonna be surprised if he's gonna start working his way up to at this time.
They're working by lap traffic right now. The number 15 car up there on the high side, no incidents there. Luckily, the guys probably communicated well with the driver and said, hey, go to the high side. That front pack was 2 separate groups. It's kind of now become 1 group. I'm really shocked that the guys with the amount of damage are still in that group. Mainly, I'm speaking about Corey Tuggle. I'm going to turn the camera. I don't know if we'll get the shot because as we have another caution coming out.
Yeah, the number 30 went into the wall, and there was quite a few cars involved in that one.
All right, we're going to pause. Got to jump over to the number 30 car. we'll go into an overhead shot, go into chopper mode, and we're going to slow this down to half speed, and we're going to hit play and see what happens, even though it didn't do half speed. Oh, looks like a slight touch from the 00 to the left quarter panel of the 30. That's what I see. Y'all at home can make your own decision about that. I'm not here to lay blame on anybody. That's just kind of what I saw. Unfortunately, the 00 and the 30 getting together, that's going to change things drastically yet again, Rachel. We're only on lap 42 of 75. We're not even 2/3 of the way through the race. We're actually just basically about halfway through the race, or just we're a little over halfway through the race, with a lot of torn up cars. Now that caution came out, looking at Brandon Thornhill, he went down pit road. I'm going to change my camera angle here and see. Yep, Brandon Thornhill got damage on the right front on that, so that did not help him at all. And we were also talking about the 107 needing to get his lap back. Unfortunately, major damage on the front of the 107.
Right, and some of these guys that ended up in this wreck have already been in some of the previous wrecks too. So I'm not sure if any of these guys still have fast repairs left. So that can be a major game changer for the rest of the race, because some of these guys might have too much damage to where it takes them a while to catch back up to the rest of the field.
Yes, indeed. All right, folks. If you got any questions out there, it's a little bit hard to come up with stuff to talk about during cautions. We can always talk about normal, regular garbage or come up with some obscene things. Taking a look right now, actually, at the number 41 of Brian Howell, the paint job on that car. This has become kind of a popular thing where they split the car in two with paint job. So, obviously, he must be a fan of Stuart Haas Racing. Back when Kurt Busch ran the monster car for Stuart Haas. One side is the monster and the other side is Stuart Haas. Unfortunately, if you keep up with NASCAR, which I barely do, so I'm surprised I actually do know this, Kurt Busch now drives for Chip Ganassi Racing, so that's no longer even a Stuart Haas car. What other kind of obscene or obscure things do you have to talk about, Rachel?
Be honest, when you mentioned that that he drives for Chip Ganassi now, I had no idea. I haven't kept up with NASCAR in quite some time, so that was new for me. I had no idea that he had switched teams.
Well, yep, indeed. And then, of course, for anybody that follows NASCAR, I think the question on everybody's mind is Kyle Larson coming back next year, and who will he be driving for? There's a lot of speculation out there.
Right.
Personally, I'd like to see him go to Hendrick Motorsports. I think he'd be great there. I just don't think if it's feasible with what happened. We're not here to talk about what he did or what, but
right.
I'd love to see him back in NASCAR. He's been tearing it up on dirt. If you guys don't know Kyle Larson, if you don't know dirt, just search Kyle Larson dirt track. The guy can drive anything dirt. He got into a late model for the first time a little while back and ended up doing pretty well in his first night and ended up winning the feature the second night. So that was pretty cool to see.
Right, and I mean, and to be honest, myself and my husband included, we're huge dirt track fans. Like, we love dirt racing. So Kyle Larson, being on dirt, I think is great. Personally, if he goes back to NASCAR, that's fine. But I don't know. I enjoy him on dirt more, I think.
I think everybody. NASCAR. Yeah, I think everybody does. But you know how it is. It
right.
Ultimately comes down to the money and wanting to become a NASCAR champion. So, given the option, I'm sure that he would go there. Lights on the pace car are out. We've got Josh Thaxton leading the race now. Rachel, I'm going to hand it over to you for this one. Somebody just blew up. I do not know what car it was, but somebody either blew up or hit the wall or ran into somebody. Looks like
163 is went underneath, but he was blinking, so I think he had net code issues, and he kind of pulled off to the side.
All right, we go back up front. Green is out. Go for it.
All right, you got the 12 of Josh Thaxton on the inside. He's got a huge run on the number 38. The number 38 just dropped down behind him. So we'll see if the 38 ends up trying to go back on that outside to possibly get around him. Looks like the number 64 and the number 19 are gonna try and battle them out.
So I noticed that the 64 doesn't look like he has much damage. The 19 did have damage earlier. Got it repaired, but I didn't see a lot of damage on his. I actually don't know if he has any damage at all. Josh Thaxton, you can see a little bit of damage on his hood. The number 7's got a little bit of damage. They should be able to get around the number 12. Let's see if they stay together or if he drops down in front of the 12. Okay, so the 19 moves down, leaves the 64 out on the high side. That was a mistake on the 64's part. Unfortunately, with the way that this is right now, there's not a lot of fast cars that can make a lot of room. So when one of the faster cars or better cars makes a move, you have to be careful not to get yourself shuffled back, because right now we talk about the draft a lot of times when you go to a super speedway. You have a massive amount of cars in the draft. You can go through the field very quickly. You can go 3 wide. You can get great runs. When you have a smaller field like this, there's less energy. You can't get the runs that you can when you have the massive groups of cars. So passing now is going to be a little bit more difficult, as we see the 64 dropping behind the 12 here. 19 still running in third.
Right, and then you also have the 08 and the 00 that are on the outside, and they were kind of left by themselves, so they just started kind of falling back. But then the number 19 jumped in front of them, so now they're starting to get somewhat of a run towards the front.
And I think that was a plan towards the back earlier, was to be the guys that we're going to talk about here shortly, or even now. And one of those guys that we haven't talked about, we haven't seen up front, is Hearn. He's now made his way up towards the front, so it should be interesting to see. Clean car too. I don't see any major damage on his car. Guys still need to kind of calm down a little bit. We still got 27 laps to go. Looks like about 27 laps to go. Just ride, and we don't, we could even get a pit stop in here, I think. They may be able to make it on fuel. They may not be able to. We don't know for sure. I think it's about a 25 to 28 lap window. So we've been back on the green for about 2-3 laps. When with 27 laps to go, I don't think anybody can make it. That's just my opinion. So could actually throw a wrench or some strategy into this yet.
Right, and also another thing too is Cameron Hearn. He was one of those people that kind of had stayed towards the back, so I think that gave him an advantage, because I don't believe he's been caught up in any of the incidents tonight.
I don't think so either, but sometimes we miss them. When you don't look at the entire accident from start to finish and look at every single car, you don't really know. As Cameron actually looked like he got loose, went to the high side, decided to stay up there. Very smart move. That'll have him fall third in line on the outside. And he drops back too. Maybe there's some communication, some teammate teamwork going on. I don't know what's going on. They're moving around. They're confusing me. You got any insight?
No, I wish I did. I don't know. It just seems like most of them are trying to stay single file right now. instead of, you know, anyone going on the outside.
All right. Well, I'm going to take us through the field, and I'm going to start with the last car that's still in the race right now. That is the number 83 of Braden Lear. I don't know if he's just sitting watching the race, spotting, or helping out with, you know, team members, but he's being scored in 19th. Number 30 of Craig Sassman, he's on pit road in 17th. Daniel Smallwood, he's on pit road in 16th place. Number 91, he's also on pit road. And the number 15 is out there with a lot of damage. We've seen him get past him. He went up to the high side. He's currently 2 laps down, as you see there. Brandon Thornhill has lost the pack. I don't know if he had that much damage or he just got a bad restart. And once you lose a lap, it's kind of one of those you're done deals. He's only a lap down though, and he is the only car lap down. So if a caution were to come out, he would get back on the lead lap. In 11th position, running all by himself, is the 163 of Craig Goodenough. 19 looked like he had a fast car. He's sitting 10th in position right now at the very back of this car. Leonard Frost is in 9th in the 161 that you see there on your screen. Joseph Murata is running 5th. Brandon Murray is running 7th. Cameron Hearn is currently in the 6th position after being a little further forward. Not sure what happened to him. Maybe we'll get a chance to talk to him after the race. We'll see. Running in the 5th position is John Flamion. Andrew Fessenden back up to 4th place. Brian Howell in the number 41 in that paint scheme that I spoke about with the Monster Energy and Haas design is running 3rd. Devin Coleman running 2nd in that number 64, and your leader Josh Thaxton. That takes you through the field and lets you know all the drivers that are still out there, still in the race. Interestingly enough, we are down to about 23 laps when they cross for the checkered flag.
And currently, it seems like most of them are just staying single file right now. No one's really trying to go around anyone or pass anyone at the moment.
Once again, for those of you that may have not come to this channel before, this is Extreme Sim TV. I'm Ronald Klein. She is Rachel Thornhill. Will be here all year covering the Xfinity series for LSRL. This being race 127. Boy, Rachel, I tell you, we're in for a long year. 27 races. That's 6 months.
Right. Yeah. This is definitely their LSRL's longer season. That was pretty much what they had planned. Their first season, they were brand new. They didn't want to put together too many races. But this is their 2nd season, and so they just added on more. Last season, the difference was the Xfinity series and the trucks were put together. So what they would do was they had the car and the truck on different teams. But this season, they chose to go with a different version and have them separate. So they're running the Xfinity series on Wednesdays, and then they're running the Cup series on Fridays.
And be sure to like, share, subscribe, whatever you want to do, so you know when Extreme Sim is broadcasting, because we will also be broadcasting on Friday nights. That will be 2 other broadcasters. I'll let them introduce themselves Friday night for their first race with LSRL in the Cup Series. Back to the action here up front. Josh Thaxton still leading. Looks like people have kind of settled down, Rachel. Looks like maybe it's okay. Let's make it to the end here. We can just kind of run single file. There's not a lot of cars left. We can still make moves. We can still get good positions. A little bit different racing than what we saw early on.
Right. And I think that could be a lot of it, like you mentioned. They're just trying to kind of chill out, not really get too aggressive right now because there's still quite a few laps they got to turn before the end of the race. And now we might start seeing some people get a little bit more aggressive, towards, I'd probably say around like the last 10 laps or so. You might start seeing people really start to move in for positions. But as we're saying that now, we actually have somebody that Andrew Fesden on the outside trying to make his way up to the front.
So Andrew Fesden was being shown in 4th position. I believe that was a pullout he pulled out to the outside on his own doing. Going to see if he can make a run to the outside. Sometimes it is possible. Does not look like it's going to happen here. He'll fall back down in line. And it was a good test. He didn't gain or lose. I think he lost a position because it was showing him in 4th position. This time by, he's going to be in 5th position as we get ready to pass a lap car here on the front stretch, the number 30. Cameron Hearn now trying to make a run on the outside by himself. Gets a good run. Gets up about, I'd say about almost 2 cars there. Past the 00 and the number 7 on his own. Here comes Andrew Fesden behind him, gonna latch onto his bumper. Kind of surprised. Personally, are you surprised that they'd be making moves at this point in the race?
I'm actually surprised that they chose to pull out from the rest of the field. But I'm kind of interested to see if they can make it work with just 2 cars. And as we say that, now the number 64 has dropped down in front of Cameron Hearn and is staying with him and Fesden. So now they're starting to get somewhat of a run.
We'll see here what happens, who stays with who, as Cameron Hearn says, nope, we're going to go to the outside. I got to run. Takes it to the outside of the number 64. Fesden closes in on his bumper. At the same time, Josh Saxton's closing in on the bumper on the 64. Of Devin Coleman. He's going to push him almost dead even with Cameron Hearn entering the corner. Fesden laying off just a little bit, maybe keeping the car cool. Definitely not the time to get real pushy. Good. They can do test runs, run, get to the front. Not doing anything drastic, but with probably 5 or 6 to go, that's when you're going to see people really getting, I don't want to say desperation mode, but go time. We'll just call it go time. I did forget to ask or check, and maybe you know this. Do we have
That I do not know. They normally do in this league. They normally have green-white checkers, but I don't have any information about it. But they normally do, though, for this league. But they have changed things up. Like I said, they didn't have fast repairs last season. They didn't have tire limits last season like that, the 3 set. So they've changed up a couple things, but they did have green white checker last season for sure. So they should have it this time.
Well, there you go. I'm sure that they have at least one. I'm not sure, but we'll make sure that we have that info for you folks next week. The testing, the test run, to see if they can get to the front. I don't know if it's a test or if they're actually trying to get to the front as they put the 163 another lap down. Got a group of cars, about 7 cars there. The number 5, as we focus on Joseph Murata there in the number 5, just a little ways back. He's starting to catch back up to this 7 car pack. And you've got the 161 of Leonard Frost. And then the 19 car. The 19 car looked strong earlier, and he went to the front, and now he's fallen all the way back. And I think he's pretty much losing the draft at this point.
Right. I think so too, because he was staying up there, and then all of a sudden it's like he dropped back further and further. And I don't know if maybe he's having any issues with the car. That could be why he's also far back as well.
It could be a fuel strategy thing, but usually when you fall back that far, it would hurt you more than it would help you. So I don't think that that's the issue. Now, he has closed the gap just ever so slightly. If he can keep on to the draft from the 163, he should be able to pull himself back up to the pack. But unfortunately, as you see the leaders pulling away even further, it looks like his opportunity to catch the pack may have come and gone. We'll see. We'll get a little bit of help here off of this lap car here, the 15. He's back to 1.5 seconds. Man, that is so close. Okay, here we go. Pit stops. And there might be some trouble up front. Did they keep it straight? Everybody kept it straight. So,
Yeah.
So we had one car, the number, was it the 7 car? We had one car go down pit road. It is the 38 car of John Flamian. He went down pit road. He is on pit road now. Going back to the leaders here because I don't want to miss anything. I'm actually going to go into blimp mode. Actually, I'm going to leave it right now. Interesting. So probability that these guys have to pit is almost a definite at this point. Here comes 2 more. We got Brandon Murray coming down, and he's going to drag the number 5 of Joseph Murata with him. So those 2 are pitting this time around as we'll go back to the front again and watch. See what happens here up front. Though my thought process on the fuel, them going to be short on fuel, was probably correct.
Yeah, I think pretty much most of them are going to have to come to pit road pretty soon.
Watch here. Here we go. The top 5 cars come down. Andrew Fessenden blowing through. Fessenden may get nailed for a speeding penalty. He came in hot. Now, I don't know for sure if he's going to get a penalty or not. The 161 stayed out. He is the only car out there right now on the lead lap. He stayed out. He's got 2 lap cars with him. As we go back, and we'll see if indeed, I'm afraid it looks like Andrew Fessenden more than likely got a penalty there. He's still sitting on pit road. That's going to end his chance at a win for this evening. Going to go back out, take a look at what I believe our leaders are once all of this cycles through. I'm going to keep bouncing back and forth between the 161 and the other group of cars being the 64, the 08, the 12, and the 19. These guys will not, if Leonard Frost in the number 161 has enough fuel and can make it, he can use the draft of the 68 and the 163 to potentially pull one off here. I mean, just completely rob a victory here. But I don't think that is what is actually going to happen. I believe that the 161 at some point is probably going to have to pit.
Right, because I mean, I'm not sure when he pitted last, but when it comes to fuel, like you mentioned, with them being on the 70%, he probably can't go too many more laps on fuel.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at that second group of cars. There are 3 cars there. Devin Coleman, Cameron Hearn, Josh Thaxton. Then you got to fall back quite a ways to the number 19 of Christian Converse. And you got Brandon Murray, Joseph Murata, those three, a little separation with Joseph Murata, he may lose the draft of the cars in front of him. Back to the 161, he's still staying out. 7 laps to go. Geez, do you think he can make it?
I would have to say it really depends on if there was any way that he could have saved fuel, but
I'll bring up the driver bar here so you all can see. So this is second place. He's 31 seconds behind the leader. So if Leonard Frost runs out on the backstretch, depending on where he runs out on the backstretch, he may actually be able to coast to the start finish. Probably not from the backstretch, but out of 3-4 or middle of 3 and 4, he could probably coast, and it might be a photo finish. Coming to the line, 6 laps to go here. Either he's just gonna stretch it and damn the torpedoes, or he's got something figured out here. Maybe he ran in the middle of a pack, half throttle the whole time and saved enough fuel. I don't see how he could have done it, but if he did it, kudos to him. He's gonna pull off a miracle.
right, and that's what I'm wondering too, is if he did do that and he was somehow able to save fuel, because otherwise, he's taking a huge risk, but he might think that the risk is definitely worth it. So.
If he runs out on the last lap, he only goes a lap down, and that would put him basically in like 8th place. So if he can make it to the last lap and he runs out, basically he'll finish somewhere around 7th or 8th place. If he runs out before that, it's going to be a completely different story. And we'll keep switching the cameras back and forth. The clock is really not going to change that much. These guys don't have enough time. With only 5 laps to go, they can't close 30 seconds.
Right. The
Okay,
only
here he
thing...
comes. Leader is coming down pit road.
Oh, he's coming down pit road.
What do you do? If I'm him, I'm taking no tires, a splash of gas, literally a splash of gas,
Right.
and try to get back out there. I just don't think it's going to work. Slides into his pit box, getting his fuel. You look at the other group of drivers is now at the entrance of pit lane. They're going through the tri-oval. I don't think he's going to be up to speed and going to be able to actually be with them. I think you can see him in the background there. Here comes 161, and they're just going to blow by him. There's not even a chance. 161 on old tires. You can see him sideways. He couldn't get on the throttle as hard as he wanted to. He's still in decent shape. He's actually in 4th place with just a few laps to go. So the battle is going to focus right here on the front. We're not going to change cameras from these 4 drivers right now. The 4 drivers that I'm talking about, the number 64, Devin Coleman, the 08, Cameron Hearn, 12 of Josh Thaxton, and the 00 of Andrew Fessenden. Even though Andrew Fessenden is not on the lead lap, he can play spoiler here. He could potentially push someone to a win.
Right. The next person back that is actually a part of the lead lap is Christian Converse, and he's at least almost 5-6 seconds back from this pack. So
yep, I got my gap is showing 5.5 seconds back. So with 3 laps to go, coming to 2 laps to go, the move is about to be made. I don't know if you wait till the last lap, last corner, or if you just go for it when you have the run. With a small field like this, if you got the run, you kind of have to use it, or you have to know how to set it up. looks like to me that the 08 is backing off of the 64. He wants to get a run, but he doesn't want to do it yet. I'm going to change camera angles here so we can get a better view.
Yeah, it looks like he might wait till last second to try and get some type of run on him on the outside.
He's basically making the 64 a flat-out sitting duck. He has left a huge gap. But it's not going to work because Thaxton goes to the outside. Thaxton goes to the outside. Cameron Hearn comes to the inside. This could work out in the 64's favor.
Unless Thaxton can get the 38 to push him. Which
The
Cameron
08
Hearn
is
pretty
clear.
much...
He moves to the high side. He's looking for the push from Thaxton. He's going to possibly clear, not quite. Here comes the 7 to help out the 64. The 12 is laying off the 08. Final lap, he drops down. Cameron Hearn drops down to the inside. He's going to try to block the run from the 64. Andrew Fessenden pushing. Here we go. Side by side. The 64 gets it by a nose. The 64 wins by a nose.
That was extremely close. That was an extremely close race.
The interval was 0.021 seconds. A brilliant move by the 64 on the last lap. We'll get these drivers ready for interview. If you want to start prepping them, Rachel, go ahead and grab the top 3. Grab Devin, Cameron, and Josh and get them ready for interview, please. Wow, folks, I hope you enjoyed the finish to that race because that was intense racing. Kudos to the number 64, the 08, and the 12, including the 00, Andrew Fessenden, and the 7 who came in there kind of at the last second, keeping it clean and finishing the race under green, having a spectacular finish. So Rachel is getting those drivers ready. We're going to be interviewing them here momentarily. While we take a moment, I'll flash these graphics up again. Once again, thank you to our sponsor, Wilder Graphics. Appreciate the sponsorship. Wow, what a race. Got to catch my breath here before we do these interviews. Looks like we are set up and ready. We will start off with 3rd place of Josh Thaxton. Go ahead and bring Josh up and give him an interview.
Josh Thaxton, Rachel, and Ronald up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. So congratulations on 3rd place finish.
Thank you.
So obviously it's good to have you back for the 2nd season. So obviously it's B cars. I know this is your element. So take us through what your strategy was coming into tonight.
I was just gonna lay back and just hang out in the back most of the race and let people wreck like they did. I wasn't hoping that people were gonna wreck, but I just wanted to be back there in case there was like a big wreck. That way I'd save my faster pair. And they wrecked a little more than I was expecting them they were going to. But it was all a pretty good race overall.
Yeah, definitely. Take us through those last 2 laps. I mean that was an insane race. So I mean, what were you trying to do there? I know you had went on the outside, but it just seemed like you just didn't have that run.
Yeah, I was hoping the lap cars would help me out a little bit before they actually started to. The first time I went outside of Cameron, I thought someone would help me, but nobody went out there. But it's alright. They're a lap car, and I understand they didn't want to influence the race because they could have played a big part in that race right there. But they did a pretty good job of staying out of it.
All right, Ronald, you had anything?
Nope, that was your interview. Congratulations, Josh, on a third place finish.
Thank you.
All right, and coming up next, we're going to have Cameron Hearn. We'll wait for Cameron to come up here, and Rachel will get that interview as well.
Cameron heard Rachel and Ronald up in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
All right. So congratulations on your second place finish.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It was a crazy race. Dodging the few big ones we had was key. But I thought I had it, but I think he had a little bit more help coming to the line.
That was definitely a photo finish. I mean, the finish that you and Devin had. I mean, Ronald, can you say what was it? How close was it? It's very small.
Yeah, it was 0.021. I mean, it was a nose. I wish that I would have had time to set it, the camera angle a little bit better for the finish, but it was good enough that I could see that 64 had just nosed you out, but it was literally 0.021 seconds.
Yeah, it was fun. It was actually glad that we could race it out like that. There wasn't any big wreck coming to the line. So, yeah, Devin ran a smart race. So did Josh. Getting off pit road was key and kind of put us in that position.
Yeah. I know. If I'm not mistaken, this is your first time being like in LSRL. Am I correct?
First time doing it full time. I've done a couple of races.
Right.
But this is my first season. I'm actually gonna try to compete for the championship.
All right, so that means we're definitely gonna see more of you then. So once again, congratulations. And did you have like any shout outs, sponsors you want to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank my mom and dad for watching. My wife Ashley for watching. Josh worked great with me tonight, and me and Josh run some leagues and different series and stuff. So I was glad we could work well together tonight. But congrats on Devin winning the race. I want to thank Wilder Graphics and Abruzzi for sponsoring me, and just great finish. And look forward to next week. And I appreciate you guys doing the podcast. Thank you guys do a great job.
All right, well, there you have it. Unless Ronald, do you have anything?
Nope, great race. Congratulations on a second place finish, and hope to see you in the future.
I appreciate it. Hope to be here next week.
All right, that was your second place finisher of Cameron Hearn. Meanwhile, Rachel's going to be dragging up Devin Coleman here momentarily. We'll get a word in with him and then wrap it up. So without further ado, bring on Mr. Devin Coleman. All right, Mr.
Devin Coleman, Rachel and Ronald up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, it's in for I got you.
All right. So, congratulations for being in victory lane. How's it feel?
Thank you. Yeah, it feels awesome. That those last few laps seem to drag by forever, and I got a little lucky on the last one there. But yeah, that was awesome. Really fun race.
Oh yeah, I mean the finish that you and Cameron had. I mean, it was extremely close. It was definitely like a photo finish. I mean, so small. I mean, it was like decimals. That's how close you guys were. So, it was very interesting to see that. Now, take us back. Those last couple laps. I mean, what was your strategy going into the whole thing?
So honestly, I saw him laying back, especially the 08, and I think he was kind of forcing the 12 back a little bit. So I knew they were going to get a big run probably on the last lap, and what I wanted to do sort of worked out for me. I wanted him to get clear and move down and me be able to get up in front of the 12. And the 38 car, he was a lap down, but he moved in behind me and gave me a good push and made that possible. And then Cameron touched the apron there, and that was all she wrote. Once that top line was so much better, coming to the front stretch.
Right. I mean, and it definitely worked in your favor. The 38 definitely helped you out to get you, to help you get to the front and get that win. So this would be your first season with LSRL, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. So, I mean, So we should be seeing you more in victory lane. I'm guessing for in the Xfinity series throughout the season.
I certainly hope so, but it is Daytona. This is sort of the lottery here. I mean,
Right.
earlier in the race, I had lost the pack. I was like 10 seconds behind the pack, and there was a wreck, and so everything just kind of worked out tonight. We'll see moving forward, though. We got some really fast guys here.
Yeah, no, definitely. So you have any shout outs or sponsors that you want to thank?
Yeah, I just want to shout out my buddy Ricky Thompson. He's going through some stuff personally. He made the app that sponsors my car, and he hasn't rolled it out public yet. I think he's going to soon, but I'll think about you, Ricky, and I'm glad to stand analyze the car. Got you a win tonight, man.
All right. Ronald, you got anything?
Congratulations on a well-deserved first-place finish. Heck of a show you put on for the fans tonight. I thought you were a sitting duck there. I called you a sitting duck. You need to go back, check out that broadcast that we're doing currently. Go back, look at it, because, man, I think you're going to agree with me. You were a sitting duck out there. I have no idea how you got back to the front, but it was fun to call it. It was fun to watch it. Really appreciate you coming out here tonight. 23 lead changes tonight. This is race 1 of 27, and you won the first one. And this is your first year with LSRL, so that makes you 1 for 1.
Yeah, those are pretty hard standards to follow. 1 for 1's tough. So, thank you guys. The broadcast looked awesome. My wife actually watched it. You guys did a great job. I watched some of your other ones, and I can't wait to go back and watch this one.
Copy that. Well, thanks for the kind words, and have a great night.
Thank you, guys.
All right, before we shut it down, final thoughts, Rachel.
Honestly, it's Daytona. I mean, we expected to see, some carnage, but I mean, overall, these guys, to say that a lot of these guys, haven't raced around each other. There's a bunch of new people. They still did really well, and I think that the race overall was a really good race, and obviously the finish was a finish that that we'll probably not see very often. I mean, that was like we said, it was definitely a photo finish. So.
Yep, it's been a fun evening calling the race. I agree. Unfortunately, a few too many cautions. I'm sure nobody wanted to see that many cautions. Hurt a lot of people's chances. But in the end, just like always at these super speedways, you get a great finish 99% of the time. So, from all of us here at Extreme Sim TV, we appreciate you tuning in, and we'll see you at the next one.